This morning, a report obtained by the New York Times reveals the Department of Health and Human Services knew months before the coronavirus outbreak about severe inadequacies in America's response plan. The leaked document is dated October 2019 and outlines step by step how underfunded, underprepared, and uncoordinated the government was for a new virus like COVID-19. The simulation of a pandemic carried out by several agencies was dubbed Crimson Contagion. It specifically called attention to the scarcity of medical supplies, saying the U.S. lacks domestic stock for antiviral medications, needles, syringes, masks, and ventilators, noting that they're hard to restock in a global pandemic because they're manufactured overseas.
After the 2009 H1N1 pandemic, we did clear calculations and realized we would need to buy billions of masks.
Dr. Tom Frieden, who was the head of the CDC until 2017, says they were aware of problems. He says the agency warned the government several times since 2010. And this report in October wasn't the only recent warning. The director of national intelligence sent a warning about U.S. vulnerability in both 2018 and 2019. This comes as Senator Richard Burr, chairman of the Intelligence Committee, comes under fire for downplaying the coronavirus, despite the stark warning from friends nearly 2 weeks before the U.S. started taking steps to contain the outbreak.
It is much more aggressive in its transmission than anything that we have seen in recent history. It's probably more akin to the 1918 pandemic.
And who knew just months later we'd be dealing with a global pandemic. Now, the Trump administration said that they issued an executive order to improve flu vaccines in response to that study, Kenneth.
This is important reporting. It should not stop here. It should continue. Obviously, we're in the heart of this pandemic, and we're facing it. We're social distancing. We're doing all these things. And we're so focused on that. But there are a lot of questions that need to be answered about who knew what and when and what can we do to make sure it doesn't happen again, because we know as human beings we have this tendency to kind of forget.
Yes.
What are we going to do this time next year? And so if we were warned, even our own contributor, Tom Bossert, who was part of the Trump administration, saying that he was part of that team that had a say about getting this country ready for pandemics. And so questions need to be answered, definitely.
We're definitely seeing it play out, the lack of medical supplies.
Right.